Hey guys, I'm Alessio and this is my cinema, and today we're gonna talk about Veloce come il vento. Veloce come il vento is an Italian movie which came out last week, and it's directed by Matteo Rovere and also written by him along with Francesca Manieri and also with Graviano. The main actors of this movie are Stefano Accorsi and Matilda De Angelis. This movie talks about Giulia, played by Matilda, who is a pilot for the GT championship for her father's team. But in the opening scene of this movie, we see her father dying for an heart attack, and this will develop the story because she will get to know that her father gave the house as a security to repay a debt that she made with this man to allow him to build this GT championship team, racing team, and she will have to repay this debt trying to win the championship. But unfortunately, she's just 16 years old, or 17 as she will become later, and she's not that good at driving without her father's advices. But for her, in her help, she will come his brother, which she didn't. So after 10 years, she will meet him at his father's funeral, and luckily for her, his brother was a former excellent pilot, so he will somehow train her, but he has a problem. He's a drug addict and it's not so reliable. The best part of this movie is for sure the relationship between Julia and Loris, her brother, because they're trying to figure out a way to keep the house, trying to win the championship, but the fact that he is a drug addict cause a lot of problems and will make them fight more than once, and it's interesting to see how they goes back and forth and how their relationship changes throughout the movies thanks to all the things that happens during the movie. And it's also helped thanks to the performances by Stefano Accorsi, who plays Loris, which is one of our Italian best actors, and also by the actress who plays Julia, because I never saw her and she is the one who surprised me the most. Even though those two performances sometimes were shaky, I think that overall helped a lot the movie and mostly their relationship, because they made a really good job. Another thing that I thought I wouldn't like of this movie were the races, because I smiled, almost laughed when I saw the trailer for an Italian racing movie, and luckily for me, this movie proved me wrong, because those races are really well made. They look interesting and compelling, and I think that it's helped by the fact that there are real cars there, mostly because they for sure didn't have money to make a very good looking CG, like for example the one in Rush, and this help a lot to create atmosphere and to feel more for this character and to care about their situations. And also it's helped by the fact that in Italy there are a lot of circuits which are also very famous, like for example, some of them are part or were part of the Formula One championship, and they are pretty famous. Or for example, there was one that is part of the MotoGP championship, so it helped a lot to create a very realistic movie and also very grounded without creating circuits that doesn't exist, and it's something that helps a lot this movie. The things I didn't like of this movie are quite enough. For example, the most annoying one was the little brother, because the main character has a little brother which is always sad, which doesn't talk much, which doesn't laugh, and they are using him like a punching bag for insults that sometimes are funny, but mostly doesn't make no sense. I don't know why they blame this kid to be always sad and to don't laugh. I mean, this kid just suffered the loss of his father, and also he never met his mother because she ran away after that she was born. And another thing that I didn't like, it's the last race, cause mostly because of how they said it. They said it will be a very dangerous race. The other pilots will try everything to throw them out and sort of those things, and we see just one time one throwing another out of the circuit, but we don't see it doing it in the dangerous part of this track, and it makes it feel very bad and not so compelling as the other race, because they were realized better in my opinion. And mostly the biggest problem with this race is the fact that it's it's very confusing. You don't understand who's first or who's last, and you see changing in positions which doesn't make sense at all. And I think this was a big problem, and I would blame the direction, not the lack of money in this situation. I think the lack of money can enter in the fact that they didn't want to destroy the cars, but they for sure had problems in the direction of this scene, which looks so messy and confusing, unfortunately. Another thing that I didn't like was a 2 minute scene where Julia comes back from a party, and you don't understand why this scene is there. You don't understand who threw this party, who invited her, or why she went there. Because you may think that she had friends, she had classmates being so young, but you never see throughout the movie talking with a friend or talking about one, or for example going to school. It looks like she's always there working on the car, and this scene is complete nonsense because you don't know where did she went and why. It was, I don't know. I think they put it there to make her bond better with his brother, but ultimately it doesn't make sense. They should have tried to find another way to make a, to make them bond, because actually they doesn't bond so much because of this scene. I think if they would cut this scene of the movie, they would save 2 minutes, and they would make the movie even better because of the absence of it. And it upsets me because I think that this movie could have been much better without this scene, or making better the last racing one, because I think those are the, because mostly the racing one is the biggest problem with this movie, the scene, and improving that scene, the movie would have been very 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 good, and everyone would like. Maybe some people would that will go there just to see the race, and seeing this one will not care about the relationship, which is the most important one. They will care just about the race, and maybe say that the movie is shit because of this race, which is not, because there is something more important. And because there is something more important, I would suggest everybody to go see it, mostly to Italians, because when this video will came out on Tuesday, there will be in Italy the cinema days, in which every movie it's just for €3. So I would suggest everybody that is in Italy that has like 2 hours free to go and check out this movie, because it deserves a lot to be seen. In Italy we don't make very much different movies. We are usually complain that we get the usual comedies that are the same since 30 years, or lame ass dramas which are not so well made, and people complains about it. And I think that people to get different movies should support what's different. In this movie it's different, try to make something new, and everybody that is in Italy should go and watch this movie and show to producers, directors, and writers that we want something like that also made in Italy. This will give to writers and directors a better environment to work. It's an argument that could stick also to other cinemas and for every country, and actually for different medias. We complain that we get pretty much all the same thing, but ultimately those things are what makes money, and in every media it's important to make money. So people who complain about this should go and watch the things that are different and the things that deserves money, like this movie, or for example movies like Mad Max and Ex Machina. They didn't made the money that they deserved last year. For example, the Minions last year made over $1 billion, and I mean, Minions, it's not a movie that stabs the heart of cinema, but still it was mostly made with the purpose to just make money, because it's just a nice movie and it shouldn't deserve to make so much money. When you see or heard about something that it's different, go and watch this instead of the whole same thing, which will make money even if you don't go to watch it. So this review is over. Subscribe and like the video if you want. You may comment and tell me what you think, and also share it with your friends if you find it entertaining. See you next time.